Hello, everyone. I hope I am audible and visible to everyone. So, if so, put something in the chat, some message, show some love, basically that I am audible and visible to you guys. I know we are meeting for a after a very long time. There are no videos update on the YT. There is no LinkedIn post. There is almost no social touch from almost 1 month approximate. I understand that, and I was bit busy. I will be sharing what I was doing in my life. There was many update I wanted to share with you guys. Stay tuned. And I just want, if you have any questions, any queries, keep putting those things in the chat so that I can take those questions, and I'm going to take all the questions from the YT YouTube chat basically. And in case you have put your question on the slider, I'm going to take all of them. So let me start first with thanking you guys for all the love that you have shown in Chak De Front End System Design, Namaste Front End System Design, on my all my YT series basically on LinkedIn and all the social media platforms. So thanks for all the love, support, and understanding. That basically sometimes it's tough basically to keep on doing your management stuff in your company, doing the engineering stuff in company, right? Along with that, managing your personal stuff, or along with that you also have your personal desire, basically why you basically are making you are making struggle efforts and all sort of thing, right? You have your family behind the scene and many more things, and definitely running YT channel, creating courses, right? And a lot of more other stuff that you already know, right, guys? So it's tough. And during all those hustle and fuzzle, basically I decided to go for my long awaited trip. So last from September and October, almost September October, I was in US basically for more than a month basically. So I was on a vacation, so I traveled many places in US basically, and this was one my long waited long waited trip. And I'm happy for that, because again, something that you always wanted to do but you're not able to do because of other priorities in your life. And sometime you have to decide, okay, this wheel will continue going on and it will never stop, right? You have to prioritize things one over the other. And finally I decided, okay, this is the time to spend some time with your family and go for a decent vacation. And that was a great trip that I had in US. So I visited multiple those places. I will be sharing those detail on the LinkedIn as well. So I visited multiple those places. Like I went to New York, I went to Seattle, Redmond. Basically, I was in Austin for some time, Dallas. Basically, I went to California, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and all sort of places. So I literally traveled a lot in 1 month basically when I was in US. And I personally recommend everyone, so take some break, travel the world whichever possible. Start, if you are basically in your college in early days, I would say start exploring India. Basically start, there are many beautiful states and whatnot. And if you start earning and whatnot, so try saving. So because when you go outside country, go outside from your place, it may be your within state, within city, it can be outside country, you will learn a lot. You will learn different things from different people, right? And which is very important. So these are important thing, I will say, in life. Travel is something which teaches you a lot, and I will highly recommend go travel as much as possible. And that's what it is tough, especially I can realize that I was planning for this trip from since my marriage, like last approximate 3.5 years to basically go to US trip. And finally I made it. So yeah, that is one update. Basically the other update basically is related to my work. So in Microsoft, basically I am leading a very big charter basically, which is globalization, which contains localization and lot more other things basically, which is on Microsoft ads. If you actually have seen any ads from Microsoft, or you have visited by any chance, if you are SMB business, or your company deals with Microsoft, you might have heard about ads.microsoft.com. So that is a platform where all the localization and everything is actually driven from IDC and within my team. So that is another big charter basically I was looking into, and setting a lot of those things, not just limited to I will be helping you to understand, not just limited to UI. So my team basically looks into so many things, from pipeline to infrastructure, to UI, definitely, to lot of packages basically which are created, right? Uh, and n number of things. So I will be talking about those as well when I'm going to take questions from the list. All of those things basically I'm going to talk. The other thing, I know there are questions related to, I think, one or two videos on the Namaste front end system design, high level design, which is pending, which I have intentionally kept not to rush and basically publish those, because those are very core to my heart. One is Google Sheet and another is Google Doc. Those are engineering gems, guys, and I really wanted to do justice, because if you understand those things, I can bet on that. Very good senior engineers, leaders, you can say, tech leads, or you can say the engineering manager, they are very set limited of people who understand that level of system design in very detail, because those are engineering gems. And I literally wanted to do the justice to that, and hence I have been delaying, because I don't want it to rush, because I have some other priorities in my life, and just to, for the namesake, let me complete those two videos and say that, hey, Namaste front end system design is over. So I personally avoid doing that, and hence, you may be asking n number of time, why only those two videos are left, because I always, unless I am convinced I am able to do the justice, I won't rush. That's how basically I operate on. I understand there should be some end date to that, and that's what I'm targeting in next couple of weeks to basically complete that. So I'm back, uh, and I will be full fledged working in next 1 week or so. Basically, back to the videos, and lot more good news are coming basically, and we will be talking about those. So okay, with that, I want you to guys basically keep on talking over the budget of the US trip. It's too expensive. It's yes, that's correct. I can't share the budget, but again, depends where you wanted to explore and whatnot. I explored lot many places basically, and hence my budget was too high. But again, what you are planning and where you are wanted to go basically, so it depends on that. So I went to many cool places. Like one of the place I went to Universal Studio. So that's one of the crazy and one of the engineering gems basically I have seen over there. So a lot of creative things people have built inside the Universal Studio, where are Marvel, like a lot of, you can say, Universal Studio related videos, movies, TV series, all sort of things. Basically, web series are basically created inside that. So many interesting, crazy things. When next system design video on the YouTube will come very soon, basically, I will be resuming the system design videos. Now I'm working on something where I just don't wanted to shoot the videos and basically provide, but I wanted to create some medium where you come to that something, maybe platform or something, where you get everything in one single hub, right? Where you not just view the videos, but also have ways to practice or do something more, right? So there are some cool stuff that I'm exploring on, I'm working on, and soon you will get to know things around that. So stay tuned around that. So definitely you will get a lot of interesting things coming soon. So with that, let's get started with a lot of questions that you guys have already have. I'm going to take a lot of questions from like chat as well, YouTube chat, and I'm going to take from the Slido. So with that, let me quickly share a couple of things, guys, in case you are not already up to date. I just wanted to share, guys, people who have at least 1 year of experience, please get started with the system design, you can say, videos. I will recommend, there are so many places you can go and explore on that, but I can trust me, this is one of the place where if you go through the check the system design videos, almost any interviews you can crack, almost any interviews you can crack. But again, there are limitations where you won't be able to crack. You will be able to crack, but again, you won't be able to design those systems at your, in your basically project. For that, the Namaste front end system design is something that is built, where you are not just looking forward to crack the interviews, but you're also looking forward to build these systems whenever needed, right? You can contribute to engineering gems basically in your project, and hence the Namaste front end system design. So go, yeah, a lot of practice, lot of other things basically. Namaste front end system design, go and check out that is very very important. In case guys, you are not serious on that, you have not completed, I will highly recommend make a practice of watching one video daily sort of thing. You may not understand 100% thing, it's okay. So when you started watching the Hollywood videos, probably you are not able to understand entire video in a movie in a single go, so you have to watch multiple times. And hence, when you start understanding the system, you will see everything will be a piece of cake, right? And everything you will start getting, you will be able to implement in your project, and everything will start happening very soon. And the other thing which I will quickly wanted to share before I go to the Slido, which is, guys, this is one of, I can bet on that the kind of questions which are asked in this series, which is Chuck Day Frontend Interview season 2, are the gem of all the best possible interviews that are asked basically in industry related to the front end. In case you have not watched this series, I will highly recommend. I can bet on that there may be some uh, there may be some audio qualities I can understand, which I'm working on my setup and everything, eventually to provide the world class best setup in terms of video audio quality, because I can guarantee the content that you will get over there, it's the one of the best content that exists on the internet, that I can confidently vouch for. The only thing which I sometimes get comments are related to the audio or the video setup quality and whatnot, which definitely I hear you, and I am actively working on that. And very soon you will get a news around that as well. So very soon. It's just that it's taking some time because of my family and all sort of thing, but 100% you will get a news in November regarding that as well. So I'm working on my setup, and you will see that setup also very soon. So please go watch this very soon. I see people talking about the Namaste DSA. Can I watch directly? Namaste DSA. Let's see. That's Namaste is a you can say brand name which generally Akshay operates on. Who knows? You will get maybe check the DSA. I don't know, right? Not thought about that, but who knows? Probably that can happen. Can I watch directly the high level system design in Namaste front end system design? If you are experienced person, if you understand fundamental thing, definitely yes, you can watch directly high level system design. You don't have to actually go through everything. But if you are a person who don't know anything about basics of maybe networking, caching, all of those things, then I will recommend go through those basic fundamental module, then go through the high level design. That will give you better understanding. Else it will be lot of maybe jargon which may be bouncer because you don't understand those terminology. That could happen if you directly jump to namaste, you can say high level design. Hence those fundamental, because I may be talking about many things, like I may be talking about, hey, let's, you can work on SEO, you can work on some performance techniques and whatnot. And if you have not heard about that, you may be thinking, hey, what Chirag is talking about, I don't understand. Maybe Chirag is talking about something from the other word. No, Chirag is not talking something from the other word. It's just that you have not heard about those fundamental terminologies which I have tried explaining very in detail in other modules. Basically, that is the thing. I see. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Hers. When someone becomes a senior front end developer. Okay, so guys, I'm going to take a lot of cool questions. Let me take a couple of them from the YouTube, and then I'm going to Slido again. So, guys, you have to understand, some people think about, I have 2 year 3 year 5 year experience, now I'm a senior developer. Sorry boss, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen, especially I can bet in big organization that is not how it works. In startup, probably because someone want you to stay in startup for a longer term because you are running their business. You may be not growing as per the industry standard, but you are helping the business to grow, and hence probably you are getting to the senior role. That could happen in some of the startup, but that does not mean that you go in any company and you are a senior person. That doesn't happen. So you have to understand. So there are many things that you have to understand from a senior perspective. Couple of things I will tell you. You have to start thinking beyond Jira task, which what it meant by, if you are a person who thinks these are the tasks which are given me and I am going to complete that within that time duration, my job is done, and I am going to do exactly the step which are mentioned in the task, my job is done. Guys, you are still you maybe have a 5 year experience, you are still you can say SE1 or FE1 or whatever you call it, front end developer one, right? So or SD1. So what I meant by, there are many things, qualities of a senior developer, starting from, you have a problem statement, you have to think end to end solution of that problem statement, not just limited to UI, but how that is going to be served to the end users, basically how, from Figma design, from business to Figma design, converting those into the component, interactivity with the backend with the API, how it is getting saved in the database, the network latencies, the performance, the component reusability, right? Everything, and how your customers are basically pursuing that. It doesn't mean that my feature is shipped to the production, my job is done. No, that doesn't work. Are your customer actually using your product? Are your customer facing the problem? Are there any bugs? How frequently you're resolving those bugs, basically, right? So all of those things basically are responsibility of a senior developer. And one of the critical responsibility of a senior developer is, are you thinking about just your own feature, or you're thinking about end-to-end product and growing other person, which is very important. If you're not investing in growing other person, which is other senior developer, other, you can say, junior developer, then you are not a senior person. If you are just limited to your own growth, then you are not a senior developer person. You have to think twice, basically, whenever basically you think about growing as a senior developer. Cool. So with that, I think let's take the Slido question that we have. Let me share. There are a lot of interesting questions people have shared on the Slido. I hope my screen is visible to everyone, and I'm going to take questions from the Slido one by one. Okay. Uh, by the way, love my playlist. Thanks a lot. Any plan for the micro front end architecture? Yes, there is a plan. I just that I'm not getting the time to basically work on that. I am currently working on, no doubt, in micro front end in my company, in my organization, and there are many packages, many repos, many things, modules we keep on creating and investing on the micro front end. It's just that when I want to create any content, I just wanted to give you all the possibilities of micro front end, not just limited to what I am using and what I have used in past, right? Almost all the flavors uh, I have implemented in my career, basically starting from startup to Flipkart to Microsoft, within multiple teams in Microsoft. Those kind of thing I have already done. It's just that I have to sit one day basically to curate that particular content, and I will be happy to do that. It's just that I'm winding up some few more high priority stuff, and definitely I will invest on that. Prerequisite for front end system design, just a curiosity. If you are curious and basically eager to understand, oh, why certain things are done in certain fashion, right? If you wanted to get into under the hood things, then definitely this is something which is very important, and you can get it started from day one. Okay, let me take the first question from the Slido. Okay, guys, all set. So keep on asking more question on the YouTube as well. I will be happy to take a lot of questions from the YT as well. Okay, so guys, let's show some love on the YouTube before I start taking a lot of tough questions basically on the Slido. I generally ask people to be very blunt, or whenever you are asking the question, ask me the tough question. I will be happy to answer. Perfect. So with that, let's get started. I'm able to crack the DSA round, but I'm failing at explaining the project. Can you explain how to handle the project round, like how to explain the project by taking an example? Okay, for that we have to understand, DSA is something, you know the algorithm, and you are able to convert into the code. That is what most of the DSA rounds are. And you have a test cases. If those test cases are passing, your DSA round are clear. That's how generally things work. But when we talk about project discussion, most of the time these project discussion happens with engineering manager, which is a hiring manager round. Most of the time, even I am an engineering manager, I take hiring manager rounds and whatnot. So most of the time that happens, basically you will be asked like, hey, can you help me, what kind of project basically you have worked, or what kind of a feature or your contribution that you have done in past, maybe past company or whatever it is, right? One of the toughest question, one of the simplest and toughest question, I will tell you why and how you have to answer these questions. One, don't tell that, hey, I use this is technology and I built this feature and whatnot. You're done. You have to understand, the hiring manager may not understand your business, your use cases, your customer, nothing. You have to help understand your customer base, your business need, right? And then you have to help with the architecture, the high level architecture. Hey, we use this on the front end, this on the back end, this is the overall things basically we use. In front end we use these tech stack to cater these you can say different use cases. And then you have to think about how you explain the HLD basically. So if you don't know how to explain a HLD, you go and watch any of my high level design videos. You will get a fair understanding how to explain a HLD. If you understand how to explain a HLD, that is exactly a product manager, or you can say the engineering manager is actually asking you, can you explain me about your project? Where person wanted to understand multiple things: the complexity of the project, the technology that you have used, the business use cases that you are trying to solve, and then the complex pieces that you have basically solved in the application. Then the other things which generally if you can showcase, well and good. I've seen people talking about, hey, this is a very big complex piece and I build it alone in 15 days. Guys, is that possible? People say that, hey, I built the Sugi clone basically in 2 weeks, and I made it robust and whatnot. Is that practically possible? Shall we fire the Swiggy team, or shall we fire the entire maybe Flipkart team which you are creating a clone? What happens basically when you are working in silo, you are not doing the justice in most of these cases, right? So try to ensure that whichever project you are talking about, those are group projects. Multiple people contributed to that. Multiple people did the design discussion, design reviews basically, and then you are building something. If you are bringing all of those things in that project discussion, trust me, that is exactly what our engineering manager or hiring manager need you to explain in your project round. So try to understand how a HLD round basically happens. Give a glimpses of the project in that particular tone. Your problem statement to the tech stack to the how you solve, and picking some of the complex problem and basically explaining. That is, you rocked. You rocked that particular round. Go for it, right? Okay, when are my pending videos coming? Basically, as I told, they are just 2 videos, and that is going to be wind up in November, no doubt, in couple of weeks, like hardly like 2 weeks sort of thing. That's what my target is. That's what I'm going to wind up both the videos that we have on the Namaste Frontend system. Rest every videos are basically there in the platform. We will keep on adding more ad hoc videos which will go via some plan which I'm basically working on. So don't worry on that. So trust me, the one thing that you will never get compromised on the quality and the uniqueness that I bring on the content. That you can get rest assured is just that timing. I'm human, right? I have a lot of priorities and whatnot, right? So that's also I'm trying to sort it out, and hence I be assured I will never ever compromise on quality. Even you ask me, Chirag, you're sitting, you go and get in touch with anyone who I have worked with, or whoever work along with me, I never compromise on quality. That is the only, you can say, pros and cons both that I have, but that's a reality. Do we need to work on the Next.js or the Remix or the focus on only React? Okay, so I will help you to understand this very importantly. When you think about building a, so you have to understand in that problem, what is the problem statement that you have in hand. If the problem statement is very simple and your use cases can be handled with a very bare minimum React JS application. Example, if you have to build a example, if you have to build a normal home page of any restaurant or a hotel, it's just a home page, I will say React is a overkill. Like Next.js, Remix, any of those things are overkill. You can just go use the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, your job is done. Now you have to think about the, when you go beyond, like when your complexity keep on increasing, you have to keep on choosing the right platform. Example, if you are building a platform which need lot of, you can say, permission handling, lot of SEO related stuff, right? Lot of optimization basically is needed. There are many routes that there are going to be there, right? There are a lot of interactivity that are going to be happen on server side, basically lot of validation on the client and server side, both are needed, right? So in that case, I will say you start moving from React JS to Next.js, right? Your React JS are like reusable component that you are building in order to move things fast. But React JS itself may not be able to cater a very large complex use cases. But again, you have to be very realistic. Do you have those use cases? If you don't have use cases, then don't do the over engineering. Like if your React JS is serving all the need, don't jump into Next.js because everyone is basically jumping into it. Everything comes with a cost. Like in order to serve an application which is based on the Next.js, you can just use a CDN with a bare minimum cost and serve your application. For running a Next.js application, the server costs are going to increase. Similarly, the Remix application, the server cost is going to increase. So what I meant by, if you don't have those use cases, don't complicate your business use cases, right? And if you know that future your team, your project, your complexity, your business need are going to increase, then choose the product wisely, where I said Next.js is one of the very good use case. Remix is also. I personally, I have used both of them. I am a big fan of Next.js, although the one culprit which I see in the Next.js is they keep on updating stack very fast and keep on breaking things very fast. But again, that's how things become stable eventually, I feel. And Next.js is definitely a good win if you have the use cases for future, uh, and a solid use cases. Go for Next.js, not React.js. But remember, guys, even you are going for Remix and the Next.js, React.js is a fundamental which is must to know. Like if you don't know React.js and you think I will be mastering the Next.js or basically Remix, that is not going to happen. It's a backbone. It's a backbone. React.js is a backbone where you build things, you get lot of things, toppings, optimization, lot of routing, lot of authorization behind the scene, a lot of database connectivity. Things become easy basically when you use basically Next.js and Remix. But again, without knowing React.js, you won't be able to sail. That is important. Difference between SD2 and SD3 for the UI role, how to prepare for the SD3 role. Have not worked on the huge code basis. Again, I said SD2, SD3, very important thing. You should know the system design well. You should know high level design well. So I will tell you important thing. When you talk about SD2, SD2 is a person given a problem statement, a person is able to code. Like I give you a feature, like you have to build something like Slido. You should, and I we discussed the design and everything, tech stack and everything. You will be able to implement that. That is expectation from SD2. SD3 is something who is expected to go and explore the possible options to implement the Slido, put into the proper design discussions, go through and see the pros and cons, evaluate it well, see the all the performance, everything basically that you are going to be become a bottleneck. Ensure that your all your dependencies with your backend, with your designer, with all the possible stakeholders are handled properly. Ensure that you are guiding, you are able to guide people basically on the, you can SE1, SD1 or SD2, right? And you are able to interact with the metrics also. What I meant by, you deliver a feature, you don't know what happened with that feature. Are you able to track those metrics and see the impact that you have created? If you are the person who's able to look into those things, then you are a SD3. Else you are a SD2. That's what basically I will recommend. Okay, so majorly these are the things that matters basically. And when you talk about the interview, the major difference that will come as an SD2, SD3, in SD3 the system design is very much focused. Like a person wanted to see how much complex things that you have solved, and if given a complex scenarios, how you are able to tackle and handle those things. That is the expectation from SD3 that you should be well versed with. Okay, so I am going to see if there is any question on the YouTube, basically YT chat. Okay, let me see. For a front-end developer, can data structure and algorithm be done in the JavaScript? Is this acceptable for the FANG interview? 100% yes. If you are going for a front-end role and you are able to solve the data structure problem solving, basically using JavaScript, that is more than enough. No one is asking you to solve that using a C sharp or like C++ or basically Java or Python probably. No, you are able to solve. Okay, help me to answer one question, guys. You are a front end developer and I am a like engineering manager. I want you to be in my team, right? Suppose you join my team and now I'm asking, hey, we wanted to implement the Slido like feature where if I click on like thumbs up, as the more the rated item should come on the top. Example, if we have three clicks over here, then basically out of other three is the highest, then three should come on the top. Where basically you're able to short it on the real time based on the likes and all sort of reaction basically from the user. You will say, hey, I know the sorting, but I will be doing this sorting using C++, or I can do this sorting using Java, or I will use Python in order to sort this because I'm very good at doing that. Guys, do you think I'm going to consider that as a valid excuse that, okay, you write it in Java, I will hire another person to convert in JavaScript, and then probably help me to implement this feature? Dude, no, this is not accepted at all, right? Don't you think? Then why the hack basically we say that you should know DSA in C++, or the you should know problem solving in a way that it can be used or it can be implemented in any programming language, isn't it? Like if you are working over here, I'm expecting you to write the things in JavaScript because you have to do the sorting, and I don't want sorting to be done in other language because browser doesn't understand, isn't it? You have to understand that, and you have to get mature on that, guys. So whoever says whatever it is, but if you are good at JavaScript and you're able to solve the problem solving, please go and give the interview. I'm pretty much sure no one is going to deny that. 100% people are going to accept it. It's just that you should have a working code. You should not just say, oh, given a time I will do something. No, that doesn't work. If you're able to implement the code working, 100% acceptable, man. Why not? Right? Why not? Right? Okay, I'm going to take another question on the YT. I'm having a 4.5 year of experience. Can I start a bit on the MERN stack? I don't have interest in the DS basically, but have a lot of interest in backend related thing. Message to you. Why not, Pranjal? So I will tell you, guys, as a software engineer, one thing which is very important, just think beyond any technology, right? If given a problem statement, you are working with a backend developer, or you're working with your front, you can say the designer, you're working with a QA who is writing some automation and whatnot, and if you're curious enough to understand what a other person is doing in order to solve the problem, because problem solved interesting, right? Then go and understand how these things are done. If given an opportunity, go and basically try to contribute on that. You may not become an expert, you don't have to, right? But at least go and take the taste of these things. Guys, we are engineers. We are never ever a front end engineer, back end engineer forever. What I meant by, you can do a specialization in one thing, but beyond everything, you are engineer first, and especially your computers engineer first. And hence I will say every ground is you should be a playground, and you should think beyond any technology, any domain and whatnot. You have curiosity, go and explore. No one knows what will be the future in next like 2 decades from now. Like anyone give any gyan, right? That will keep aside, but future and destiny will has to be written, right? And hence, like keep on exploring things. There is nothing wrong, guys. Just that we have limited our brain saying that, hey, I am a JavaScript developer. I can't go and write a code in Python, or I can't see a code in C Sharp or a Java. Guys, it's just certain barriers that we have created among ourselves, which restrict ourselves. Basically, go and explore the dimension beyond. Please see the word beyond any technology or language, because no one knows. Literally, no one knows what will happen 2 decades from now. So go explore. Yes, Pranjal, please go. Is it possible? Can you make separate videos on roadmap for SD2 front end, like resources? What kind of question expect, level of the difficulty questions for the 2.5 year of experience? How much DSA? I can do that, Sujit. I can definitely do that. I can make separate kind of videos for different level. What is expected in the industries that I can do from end-to-end perspective, no doubt in that. I have three of a year of front-end experience. I have practiced DSA in C++. Will it be okay to code C++ only for the DSA in interview for the front-end role? So that you can do that, no one is going to stop you. But again, if you say, if interviews ask you explicitly, hey, can you convert this code into JavaScript, and you are not able to do that, guys, then that is a red alert. Reason being, the same statement a person is going to ask you when you are hired in the team, and then you deny also, it's not going to a good sign for an engineering manager or a hiring manager in the team, right? Because you say, hey, I can't write the code in JavaScript, and you have to do that even given a time, then sorry boss, that will be a difficulty. But I highly recommend most of the interview, whichever language you prefer, for the interview sake of point, no one basically bother. But if anyone is explicitly asking you, can you write this in JavaScript because you are a front end developer, be ready with that. And that is the right expectation, guys, because you can't say that I can't write the code in this because all the DSA problem which I have maybe learned, mugged up, whatever it is in C++, and that is what my expertise. Sorry boss, that doesn't work, right? Roadmap for system design, I have already I have a video on the YouTube which actually talks about the entire roadmap of a system design. Please go watch that. You will get a fair understanding on that. Okay, let me thanks Sivraj for the love on the playlist on the YT. So thanks everyone for sharing a lot of love. Okay, let me take question from the Slido. Where does the Vue.js stand in the comparison to the React.js? What are your views on the Vue.js? Have you used Vue.js in the project? Okay. So guys, I have used Vue.js multiple times. The previous my personal portfolio that I was having was in Vue.js. So I have used Angular JS, the old one. I have also used Angular. I have used Vue.js. I have used Solid.js. I have used you can say React.js. I have used Remix. I have used basically Next.js. I have many of those things. In one of the other project, I have used all those technologies basically in past. I have also used jQuery and whatnot that used to be there in past, right? What I wanted to tell you, there is no problem if you say can I build large scale application using Vue.js. I will say 100% you can build. If you will say if I have to build a application in React.js and Vue.js, probably I will say building application in Vue.js is much faster as compared to React.js. There are something which is beyond the coolness of a technology. That is, I will tell you one, the kind of a support, the community that you have. The React.js community is very vast, and hence when you're looking forward, hey, I need a drag and drop functionality, I need a probably tree like component, I need a design system where I can get lot of inbuilt component, I need a form validator kind of a thing, I need these cool stuff basically, right? You will get a lot of those things basically available in open source in React.js easily as compared to Vue.js. That is the only caveat I will say that exists in the industry as from a industry point of perspective or as an individual developer. If you have that enough community and you can say support for Vue.js, you can say packages or the libraries, then there is no problem basically going with the Vue.js. The development is faster. You have a lot of crazy CLI commands and whatnot, which helps you to get everything cool. You have a lot of templating things, two-way binding, many crazy stuff that you get in Vue.js, right? And hence I personally love Vuejs. It's just that because if you think from a company perspective, it's difficult to hire developer from Vuejs because React.js developers are very much in the industry, Vuejs developers are limited developer, and hence for a company also it is very easy to hire replace a React.js developer versus Vuejs developer. Those are some caveat. Else from coolness, what capabilities Vuejs basically provide is amazing. Even you compare the performance, the time of development, the maintainability, right? The cool things that Vue.js is building is amazing guys. What are your recommended books for developer, for every developer must go through? So guys, one thing which I generally don't like, I highly recommend, but I don't generally prefer. I'm not a very big fan of reading a lot of, you can say, book end to end. I am very bad. I am very particular around, I like the content, especially the article, the topic, the chapter, and all sort of thing. I focus on that and basically read that. So what I meant by, I am a person, consider example, I have to get into any depth of something, I will go and explore all the possible places for that particular content or the topic or the subject. I wanted to become a subject matter expert, and I go into the depth of certain things in order to get the best, instead of covering for the namesake. I completed a book. If I like certain parts in the book, I will go into that. So there are many other recommendation that I can give, so I can share those recommendation basically with you, which are, I will tell you, the books which I will recommend. I generally don't recommend, like example, you go with the JavaScript. There are many JavaScript books that we have. I generally recommend you to go through the code quality related books, right? The fundamentals, the thought process behind the software engineering or thought process around the writing the best code, right? Those kind of a thing basically, because that changes your mind, that evolves your mind, right? Those kind of a books I read, and that are very important. I can share those book. I can share those book on the LinkedIn also. Don't worry on that. I will be sharing, but I generally don't recommend one book for completing one entire book for one technology. Like you ask me, hey, I wanted to go to the JavaScript. It can be any book, right? Now, I don't know JavaScript or any of those things. You don't know JavaScript yet. There are multiple things. What I meant by even Python books, even React JS book. There is no single book I will recommend to complete end to end. There's sometimes I feel just a waste of time. You don't get into that depth. You don't get real life examples. You just get a lot of cool stuff to crack either interviews and whatnot, which I generally don't recommend. Hi Chirag, what is your approach to learn any new technology? Example, I am data engineer. How I learn the GraphQL, Azure, etc. Okay, so this is something which is very important. I will tell you guys. Whoever is actually listening to this, I want you to be very dedicatedly listen on my approach to any of the problem. First thumb rule of learning anything when you are senior. When I say when you are senior and when you are junior, they are two different things. When you are senior, you are equipped to think and visualize a bigger picture. When you are junior, you can't take too much thing at a time. You wanted to focus, things are going bouncer, I just wanted to complete step 1, then you tell me step 2, and then you tell me step 3. Until as I complete step 1, don't tell me about step 2 because that is too much for me. That's how your junior developer works. When you're senior developer, I will highly recommend how you should approach to a learning any of those things. Try first, if you have in your company anyone is already working on anything, try to get a bigger picture. Hey, help me, say suppose GraphQL, talk to the people who are actually working on GraphQL and try to understand the use cases they are solving using GraphQL. If you have similar solutions or similar technology that you know that you have used or you have heard, try to ask question. Hey, why GraphQL, why it can't be REST, why it can't be like any of those things, right? So you try to ask those things. You may not be having the right question, but try to get those things. And whatever pointers that you get from the overall picture from that particular person who's using that technology in the real world, try to note that out, right? Try to talk to the other person, try to get where the person is using that technology and why it is using and what problem that particular technology is trying to solve. Try to get bigger picture, don't get into the code. Whoever give you gyan like, hey, let's set up how to run a GraphQL server and how to set up and let's build a mutation and query and do that, guys, you will never ever be able to understand any new technology. The best thing is understand the use cases, understand the problem that solves using that technology, understand what are the alternative and how this particular technology stands better than the other alternative and whatnot, right? And then basically once you get a bigger picture, then oh, I understand, then you come up with your own use case, especially if you can fit the technology either in POC or something in your current project in your organization. Best thing, guys, I will tell you why. Because multiple things, you have real data, you have real use cases, you have real problems in short, right, in hand. And if you have data and a real problem statement, guys, awesome. If you do a POC and basically try to fit that, if that works, then go and try to incorporate that in your organization. You will get rewarded for that. If you don't get it worked, at least that will be learning for you. That is the best thing, guys. I will tell you upfront in like publicly, I am saying that most of the things that I have learned, right, I have incorporated using the same technique in all my previous companies, in all the project. I have done some POCs, got some best thing, showcase that to everyone what benefit you will get with the timeline, with the cost and everything, and basically got it injected basically in the project. And then you get the outcome. It's not just you did some like practice, hey, I know how to build a query and mutation. You get it in chipped in basically in a large scale databases, and your life is sorted. That's how you learn things, right? So but one thing I wanted to say, that people who wanted to say, hey, life is easy, you get all of those things handy, where you will say, go and ask, hey, I wanted to learn GraphQL, give me 2 weeks of time where I will learn something and then I will practice in something. Most of the new things that you wanted to incorporate in your project, you have to do as a side hustle. Like you have to work on those things up out of your office hours, out of your project that you are working on. Do the POC. When you have something working and running, then you go and showcase to your manager, hey, this is something which I worked on and this is where it solves our problem. And then you try to sell those things and incorporate in your project. That is the best way, I will tell you. If you go directly to your engineering manager and say that I wanted to learn new things and I wanted to incorporate, and you don't have a proper timeline, boss, your boss, even your engineering manager, has to share the updates and are questionable around your bandwidth and your effectiveness, right? So everything comes with a cost. He has to pay the salary, right? So what I mean by your salary is a question to your engineering manager as well. So hence, uh, do the justice. But yes, that's the best thing. Try that out, it has worked. I've learned almost all the technologies, all the things with the same pattern. Everything you talk about, you talk me about the performance, you talk me about backend, you talk me about the pipeline infrastructure, you talk me about any of the front end technologies, back end technology, almost everything that I have learned in my career is all with the same funda. But you have to go beyond from your comfort zone. That is how it comes. Okay, so let me quickly take one more from the chat. I have taken a break and resigned from my current job. What should I say in HR round? Reason being environment become toxic. One thing basically I will say, guys, uh, it's okay to say that the things were not good in your current organization, and hence you have to take some tough decision where you have to resign and do that, right? But don't play a blame game. So if you are playing a blame game, hey, my entire organization, team, company, everyone around me and around the world except me are the worst in the world, then problem is not in the world, probably you, right? So what I meant by, if they you have a solid use case scenarios basically that you can highlight, hey, certain these things were basically hampering me and it was actually a mental barrier for me rather than basically looking for the progressive thing, and hence I decided to take a step down and basically do the justice that actually does not hamper my personal life and my mental and the productivity for the future stuff, and hence sometimes these tough decision has to be taken and I have to take that, right? You can share there was some challenges, the cultural problem and whatnot, and you can give examples like it's not just me, there are multiple people who has to take certain decisions because of such and such thing, right? Those are justified, right? People know that, people know because of toxic things people have faced in past. Everyone almost have faced that. They have different ways to handle those. You might have handled by stepping down. Some people change their project, change their team, change the manager, right? Many of those things that happens. What I meant by their ways. So the way you choose, I won't say it's a wrong way, it's just that one of the way, right? And hence it's okay to share the right thing, but again, don't play the blame game. The only thing. Okay, let me take another question from the YouTube. As it is like a senior front end person can't aim for the higher position like the tech lead, engineering manager, architect, because it will involve the knowledge of the whole system. Front end has limited. Okay, Pranjal, again, very important. As I said, when you have to grow in your career as a front end lead, you have to grow as an engineering manager, right? So one thing which is very important, you can't have only knowledge in front end. That is not going to work, guys. This is very important. You have to understand, you have expertise in front end and you have understanding of other things, knowledge of other things. If needed, you are able to contribute on other side of the thing. It can be any damn thing. Then you can expect yourself as a front end lead, architect or engineering manager and whatnot, right? But if you are saying that, hey, I'm only going to work as an front end developer core, then I will say there are companies who pays very good, you can say, salaries for people who are senior developer and who don't want it to go into, you can say, lead position, or probably they don't want it to switch to the engineering manager or architect. It's okay, you can keep earning good salaries basically as a senior software developer if you have wanted to limit it to the front end. But if you wanted to go beyond the architect and other, you have to think beyond just anything. It may be front end, back end, can be any damn thing, guys, which is very very important. Okay, for front end SD2 level need to have the knowledge of the deployment like Jenkins. Okay, you may not be asked to set up those things, but yes, if needed to contribute on those things. Like you have a Jenkins job and your developer, whoever have set up the Jenkins job is not available, you should be able to go and basically understand and contribute to that. That is the expectation that is needed from SD2 level onwards, right? So where you will be having certain use cases. Example, today I have to do everything, like setting up the new you can say infrastructure, maybe pipeline, setting up the new services, maybe getting into the Azure, maybe some security things, maybe damn everything that comes on my plate basically, right? So when you grow in your career, you can't basically say that no, I am not that guy, or my career is limited to that, my expertise in this. That doesn't work, guys. So you should be open, but again, you can consider like your 80% job will be mostly relevant to front end, but 20%, as you keep on growing, that ratio will start from like 5% to 10%, 20%, 30%. As you grow in your career, that ratio will start increasing in your life, which where you have to think beyond front end. That is what I meant by, as a pharmacy student choosing an IT domain for my future. Your check the series has helped me a lot. It gives me confidence and motivation. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Jan. That helps me a lot. That motivates me a lot. That pushes me. Like sitting on weekend where I have a lot of other stuff, basically to keep on bringing something and connecting with you guys, making me energetic. Basically, bringing me coming up back. Hey, let's Chirag, let's do it. Even it is midnight, late night, great content, like create a lot of content, get a lot of other stuff, knowledge and whatnot, and share with the people. So your feedback, your loves and support is the only motivation that I have, guys, that help me to keep pushing myself beyond the work that I do at Microsoft. Trust me, it's not easy, but your love always helps. Okay. Let me take questions from here. With 1 year of experience in the front end, should I pursue the back end or the deepen my front end? I will say, guys, deepen your understanding. Don't keep on jumping or other thing. Don't close your ears basically when there is a design discussion or some discussion which is going on the back end. But at the same time, don't keep on jumping on the multiple things, because you won't get the expertise on anything. And people in today's industry, people want expert, because company wanted to hire two people, one expert in backend and front end. Example, people don't wanted to hire people who are good at nothing but can do something and get the hack. That works in, you can say, very startup kind of a culture. But when you grow into bigger organization, people want expertise in areas, right? And hence having the expertise is must. Keep your ear open. Whenever you get to learn anything new from other people, just learn that, right? Don't, it maybe you don't get your hand dirty in everything, but keep your ear open, which is very important habit that you have to build, guys. I have 2.5 year of experience, 2.5 2 year Angular and 1.5 React as a front end dev. Can you briefly tell me what is expected with this much experience in the interview nowadays? Okay, guys. One thing which is very important when you go into interviews, one thing which is you will get a you can say JavaScript round, where many companies do that. They will give you a problem solving and they will ask you, hey, let's solve this problem. Most of the problem statement will be oriented some real problem, where you have to write the algorithm on the front end related problem. Like it can be basic, like you have to sort certain things, right? You have to optimize certain pieces, right? You have to find the duplicate, any basic stuff that can be expected. So coming to you will be asked a machine coding round, where you have to implement things into it, a working module basically that you have to implement, right? Those kind of expectation will be there, no doubt in that. Now then you have 2 year, then people will ask you about the system design. Like people will ask about system, you can say, depends. Performance is one of the things which are definitely asked in most of the places. There are other things that will be asked depending on what you did in your past. Whenever you chip into, hey, I worked on these things in my past in the project, people will start asking you something related to those project, asking you system design related question. Example, you worked a lot in the networking, people will get into networking. You have worked on the caching and whatnot, people will get into the caching. Most of the good engineers will ask you questions related to your expertise and things that you have worked in past, because they understand in 2 years you may not have get an opportunity to explore everything. But whatever you explored, did you did the justice? Did you get into the depth of that? Did you actually perform at the right level in those things, or you just worked on the surface and you said, hey, my Jira task is complete? That's what good interviewers basically will get into, right? And that's how you should basically pursue. Okay, coming back again, guys, don't ever go to interview and say that I have 2 year in Angular and point 5 in React. Just a hack I'm talking about. Reason being, no one cares. In say suppose within like half 6 months, you have got a lot of expertise in React, which other people may have got in 3 years. Example, right? Then you are good enough. Like a person who has 2 year of experience in React and person like 5 year of experience, I generally don't have a differentiation, because learning React related stuff is more than enough within 6 months or one year. More than enough you need to learn a React related stuff. The other thing that you need, how to use that understanding in your real project. How do you think beyond that syntax basically, right? How you understand about the data structures which are going to use, how you think about optimization, how you think about modularity, how you think about reusability again, right? How you think about performance, all of those things matters. React related syntax, 6 months is more than enough in order to grab anything that is needed from a syntax perspective. More than enough, man. Is it the right time to switch for a React JS? How is the market? Market is coming back, guys. It's I You can't compare it when it was in COVID time or before COVID. But yes, market is kinda back. People are hiring. It's hiring is going on. I won't say best part, guys. Hiring is going on a lot in India as compared to the outside world. You may see here that hey, the market is not good. Mostly for outside India market. Indian market is one of the market which is booming as compared to any other market in the world. Reason, everyone wanted to basically invest in India, because you get cheaper, I will say, cost effective developers. That's how I will pronounce it. But that's a reality, right? If you have to pay 3x basically in US, you have to pay just 1x is basically in India to hire a person. That's how generally works, right? And hence Indian market is always on top in terms of the new recruitment and whatnot. The only problem I will tell you, because there are so many new people are getting graduated every year, and if you have to compare that ratio, probably you will feel, hey, there are not that market, because your input and output is not the same. Your demand and supply is not the same. That is 100% the scenario. But if you see for the good engineers, do you have like vacancies in the market? No doubt there is. Okay, when will the extra topic like micro front-end Jenkins deployment process, etc., will be discussed in the live session with you and the access? Very important topic. Let me note it down explicitly. Uh, I will have we are in a discussion basically, action me, related to these topics. But yes, let me explicitly note it down, and I will discuss with Akshay around the timeline. Perfect. I've noted it down. You will get the answer very soon. Don't worry. I have resigned from my job without having offer in hand. Now need what's should I focus more on the DSA project or OS contribution? Open source, if you're saying, if you have left your job, open source contribution at this moment is not a good, I will say, suggestion. If you have left your job, I won't recommend you to build lot of project. I won't recommend. That's a wrong suggestion. If you have left your job, I won't ask you to basically solve 10 question daily, and then basically after 2 month or 3 month you have solved enough question and then you appear for a job. Guys, even I won't recommend that. My recommendation, if you have left a job, then learn from your mistake. And the best way to learn from your mistake is have the brush up things. Go pick any 10 problem statement in data structure related to string array, you can say map related thing, stack queuing list at this level max, right? Go and basically try to solve the problem. You can say set a time for yourself, like maybe 15 minutes per question depending on the complexity, and try to get to the solution. If you're taking time to take some time to write first algorithm and then convert into the problem, get some problem solving skill. That is important, right? For related to the project, I won't recommend you to build a lot of project at this moment. What you should do, go and prepare for questions which are specific related to interviews at this moment, because you have left your job. I am not going to tell you a 6 month plan when you are actually sitting with nothing in your hand, right? That's not a good deed. I will tell you the quickest, smartest things that you can do at that tough time. Because more, say suppose you are not joining the company for next 3 4 months, then you have to also tackle one more question, like why did you not join, or why you are not working from last maybe 5 months or 6 months. That become a next level of questions. Again, you can't say that hey, after 3 years of experience or 2 years, if you're early in your career like 5 6 months, you have worked somewhere and then you have did a job, drop basically, then you can think of preparing for another 2 3 months and then basically applying. That's not a big deal. As you grow in your career, taking a gap, especially in India, for like 6 months, that's a different kind of a question. Until unless you have some medical issues, some personal issues and whatnot, people don't generally encourage that. People don't understand. Everyone have challenges, but people don't understand other problem, other person challenges, right? That's a problem in Indian market. That's true, right? And hence I will recommend practice problem solving. Like you should be able to give problem solve basic problems that are given in any problem solving. You're able to do the machine coding basically, which is very important, right? You know, fundamental of system design. Don't focus on open source at this moment. Project, nothing matters, guys. Get a proper referral from some friends and whatnot. At least appear in the interview and crack the interviews. No one is going to look into this much detail if you are not going into very early stage startup. Trust me, if you're going in very early stage startup, these things, especially the projects, may become a good deal for them. But if you're not in very early stage startup, don't get into those things at this moment. Please avoid. You have already resigned, man. Don't waste time. Resigned because I'm looking for the exposure and the better opportunity. I understand. Don't worry on that. How to manage interview preparation with the full-time job, especially the DSA for the 3 year of experience. How to manage interview preparation. So, guys, one thing I will highly recommend to everyone: interview preparation does not start from the day you decide, hey, I wanted to switch my job. Interview preparation starts from your current project that you are working. That's a biggest opportunity to prepare for the interview. I will tell you how. There are multiple rounds that exist basically in interview round. You can prepare those interview round in your current project. Everyone, whoever is working in your current project, go and practice that and you will see a significant improvement. First round, problem solving kind of a round, right? So what you have to do wherever you are actually, so problem solving, machine coding, those kind of round. So I will, let me take up machine coding first. You have a machine coding round basically. What is that? You have to implement some functionality, maybe a form with something, maybe accordion kind of a thing, maybe a carousel kind of thing, depending on the complexity, right? Depending, maybe a visit, maybe a configurable forms, configurable widget, any of those things, right? What I meant by, whenever you are implementing some feature in your project, most of the time what we do, okay, this is a component someone created, let me copy that, paste it, change the name of the component, change the state name, and basically reuse as it is. Oh, okay, this is a form that I need to be created, let me go and search in the chat GPT or something, let me get it generated, copy it, paste it, and basically add some topping on top of it, get it done. Oh, I need to add some extra field basically, which actually works with the redux and get some data, let me see how other person had done, let me go over there, copy the same action and whatnot, change the name, replace the name, and get my job done. Most of the time, as a engineer, what we do, we find the occurrences, try to basically replicate as it is, how it is was done by the previous engineer related to the similar feature. Please stop doing that. Put your brain. So what I meant by, what you have to do when you're implementing something, consider you don't have internet references. Consider you can't copy paste code from here and there. Try to write that code fresh from scratch yourself, like starting line to the end line of a component, where you write an import statement and export statement. That should not be a copy paste, that should be written by you. Like, write yourself, right? Build that practice. If you're pro in that, then obviously I don't want you to basically do that. You can obviously use suggestion, autofill, autocomplete, auto templatizing. But when I say, can you write it from manual script, you should be. If you are able to do, then just for the productivity sake, you are actually using this shortcuts in order to improve, no doubt. One, machine coding you will be able to crack like this, trust me. In that, you have to add a one extra toppings, which is, when you're doing a state management, put a thought. It's not like for one every field you keep on adding new state without putting a thought, without putting how it is going to re-render, performance impact. It's just that I need to build a functionality, end field, end state, my job is done. Not even thinking, do I need a ref or a state? It's just that state does the job, even it re-render, what to do, man, make it happen. Put thoughts in that when you are building. If you are putting a thoughts, your machine coding round is sorted. Problem solving, when you write a utility function, or when you're writing a how to remove a duplicate, what do you do? Google or ChatGPT or some copilot, how to duplicate this from a list of array and this and what, and you get a code, you copy paste, write a utility, your job is done. Stop doing that, right? If you are able to write that code with the edge cases, with your corner cases and whatnot, with your base cases, then your problem solving round is also sorted. You don't have to go for that. The third round, system design round. Guys, in system design round, most of the times we are asked about the choices that we have made, like why you did opted this, why not this, right? What are the other options that you have explored? Basically, those things are part of your tech design. Whenever you are building a new feature, don't directly jump into the implementation. Create a one pager tech design for that. Go and discuss with everyone, hey, this is my approach and this is what I have thought in order to implement. These are the choices that I have made. What do you think? Is it going to work or not? Brainstorm with your team. The day you start brainstorming with your team, you will realize, guys, you will improve your system design automatically. Your system design skills will improve like anything. So now all the major rounds that you have cracked, and you don't have to prepare explicitly. You have to start this from your current project, and you come back after 2 month, 1 month to 2 month, like max 6 week. You will come back and tell me, hey Chirag, did you improved or not? I wanted to hear and get your feedback, guys. Just go and try that out. Put me in the chat, whoever is going to basically apply this approach in your organization. If you are going to try that out, let me know in the comment. Yes, Chirag, I wanted to give a shot and basically and come up, say that, hey, your logic doesn't work at all. And if it works, whatever it is, I wanted to hear that back. Just put in the comment. I wanted to really hear. Okay, how DSA? Let me take a few more questions. How DSA level required for the SD2 front end? Which topic need to be more focused? I'm practicing DSA in the JS. What is your opinion to practice? Yes, you should practice DSA in JS. No doubt in that. There's no worries, right? And if you are able to code in JS, no one can basically reject you. Not no one, right? In any company, I can bet. If your interviewer is screwed up, right, then I can't basically say anything. But again, 100% you can go and basically opt for JavaScript. The topics, as I said, don't jump into uh, like topic like backtracking, or I will say tree or graph at this moment. Start with, if you are able to deal with strings, arrays, map basically, or you can say the object, or you can say you are able to deal with normal stack, queue and linked list. Basically, these are things which are able to solve the real world problem. Then most of the life is sorted basically, right? Then once you are able to do that, then try to think, hey, how these things are basically is the same fundamental thing. I have talked about those things in one of the course that I created, front end for everyone. I've talked about exactly in front end for everyone what how to approach a data structure problem, what are the myths that we have related to data structure, how it is important, and where it is you have to change your lenses basically when we talk about problem solving. Now, especially related to front end, and that is very depth I have talked about, right? And that is what basically you can go and explore in that as well. So my important thing which I wanted to say, practice these topic, try to see the real world problems that you face in front end and try to solve that. That is what will make you better. I'm planning to switch for the SD2 level front end. Who has around 2.5 year of experience need to prepare for the HLD and LD, both. Any resources you suggest for the design pattern? uh, there is a good resource which is called pattern.dev, I think. Just go and explore that. That has very good design patterns, everything that is needed. You can explore on that. HLD and LLD, yes. LLD 100%, HLD also 100%, because you are going for SD2, right? It's just that your first round will be LLD, and then you will have HLD in the subsequent round. So I will tell you guys, most of the people, you may be having 2 year of experience, 3 year, 5 year, 8 year, 10 year experience. I will tell you one differentiator, how you are hired at different level in companies. LLD is almost same. If you see 2 year experience and 8 year experience, nothing fancy that happens in LLD round. Very frankly, guys, the kind of output that you get in both of the round are almost same. The major difference come in high level design. In high level design, you are just at what level you should be hired. You should be hired at SD1, SD2, SD3. Most of the time, your designation changer round is your high level design, and that happens in most of the companies which says that we have opening for multiple round. You give the interview, and then we will decide which level you are suitable for, especially big organization. And that is decided in one of the round, which is high level design, in one of the very critical decision making round for that. Okay, does Microsoft hire front end engineer with a less than 3 year of experience? Yes, there is SD one role, especially for a front end, and there is a hiring that happens for front end developer as well. So explicitly you will see the front end engineer tag basically, which is there with the profile. How much complex project need to land into the entry level job in the startup. So guys, so when I say, and how much complex project, you have to understand, you build any project. So example, you build you build your own portfolio, you build a Flipkart home page, or you build a search page, or you build a Google search page and whatnot. Try to do the justice, try to get in the detail. Just don't focus on the look and feel, you are able to fetch the data and you are able to render the data, your job is done. No, try to think about the real use cases, handling large set of data, about the performance, right, about the theming, about the design system. If you're able to think about that, your life is almost sorted in those things, right? Try to get one part of system design and try to implement those part of system design. What you can, whenever you're actually going and presenting anyone, you can say that, hey, this is a project I built, and these are system design things that I basically solved. Example, I have solved localization, I have supported multiple time zone in my project, I have supported large setup database with the pagination, with the virtual scroll, all sort of thing. I have implemented the real time query in the search basically using API call. I have added some caching layer basically in order to optimize my you can say images, the you can say subsequent network call or any of those things. I have implemented offline support basically. Try to pick any of those system design things and try to solve and basically highlight those things when you're talking about your project. Don't, complexity does not comes with the, I say that, hey, if you're building Google search, then that is not complex. If you're building YouTube, then that is complex. That's a myth, guys. Everything, every project has complexity. How much system design complexity depth you have went is the deciding factor, not the title of the project. Everything is, so you tell me one project which you feel is the tough, is very hard, I can tell you the easiest way. You tell me very easiest project which you think, I can tell you the complex problem in that. It's just the perspective, because you are seeing only from the surface. That's the only thing. Get into the system design components and try to implement, showcase that when you're in an interview. I have 5+ years of experience front end developer. Now I wanted to upskill in the new technology. What should I choose, Java or Node? I will recommend, don't jump into, if you are only limited to the front end example, right? If you're only limited to the front end, then I will highly recommend you go and explore maybe the node side of the thing, backend side of the thing. Even I will say, don't jump into any of the technology. Go and explore how backend works. Go and explore how the database connectivity works. Go and explore how the different queues and other things basically that exist in the backend, how that works. Then you pick any one of them, whichever you prefer, like, and try to implement that. Say suppose you're a good learner, you can learn Java very quickly. Go and learn Java. If you think like, hey, I will take time in order to learn and explore new things, I need 3 weeks in order to learn a language, then I will say, you know already Java, you go learn the Node.js probably in a week and try to implement some part of that. You have to decide what kind of a person you are, how quick learner you are, how much curiosity you have. But if you have 5 year experience, first getting into the code, learn the fundamental how things basically run on the backend. That is important. Code is the secondary thing, is the last thing I will say for a person who's a senior developer, because you should be quickly able to adopt and learn those things. That's how I pursue any senior developer. Google front-end engineer role have front-end specific round? Yes. Or it is similar to other round and focused on the DSA only? No. So they have the machine coding round. They will give you Google Doc and they will ask you to implement some part of it. Maybe implement a form with some JavaScript interactivity or write some React-based component or something. Generally, Google has this particular round where they will give you Google Doc. There is another round, they do the they do the JavaScript round, where they will ask you some real world problem of the JavaScript which you have to basically solve. When I say using JavaScript, they may be having you have multiple APIs, can you dedupe those APIs, right? Can you cache the API response, can you chain the API responses, right? Those kind of a very popular problem, those are asked in Google interviews, right? Prepare for that. How do you assess yourself and your level in your current company and when you apply for the position? Guys, as I said, I am a big fan of, I don't assess people on the year of experience. I don't assess people on basically, hey, you have worked on some big companies, then you are a cool person, or you have example, some people think about, hey, you have a big followers on maybe YT and whatnot, you are a big guy and you should be at a CTO level or a tech lead level. That doesn't happen, guys, right? You have created a lot of content, and you have showcased some of the interviews skills and whatnot on the YT and whatnot. That doesn't make you a big guy, right? Or even you have created some courses, because solving a real world problem and complex problem at scale in the organization is a different thing, and teaching anything is a different story, to be very frank, guys, right? So if you see you are a popular person, like anyone including me, if you are a popular person including me, then you should be at a such as a designation. That doesn't justify. Now, talking about how do I assess myself, for me, what matters, a simple thumb rule, guys. You always see a person working at the next level, not in just your team or organization, but in general in the industry, at your next level, what people are doing, right? And try to do those things at your current level. And if you're performing those things, then you are ready for moving to the next level. So that is what you should assess yourself. The simplest funda, right? Whichever level you are SD1, see how your SD2 in general are performing and what they are doing. Try to start doing those things what your SD2 is doing. If you're at SD2, try to see what your SD3 is basically doing, and try to do at your current job. Don't think it is not my job, I don't get a pay for that, guys. There is a simple funda which I generally learned one thing in my life. If you are a 5-star developer at SD2, and if you are a 2-star developer, say suppose you get promoted and you get a 2-star developer or 3-star developer at SD3, then it is not your promotion, it is a demotion. You are getting what I meant by? It is very important to understand. If you are going from 5-star to SD2 developer to 2-star or 3-star developer at SD3, you have degraded yourself instead of upgrading yourself. What you have to do, at least you are a 5-star, then you should be at 4-star at the next level, right? Minimum, right? If you are not able to adhere to that level and expectation that you have in the next role, then you just got promoted, but you are not eligible actually for that particular promotion, and you won't be able to survive. Or even you survive, the next promotion that you are expecting will take a lot of time, because first you have to uplift in the current level, and then you have to actually go to the next level, and that is going to be very tedious. You should restrict from that. I've seen people including me, stepping back saying that I'm not ready for the next level, because considering example, I was having an architect designation 5 years back in my career. I was getting an architect, and I said, no, I'm not ready for that. Sometimes you have to decline because you may not be doing the justice at the next level. It's just not your designation, but the responsibility that you get in your shoulder, and which is not limited to your current organization or the team. It is in the industry at that level. Are you the right person or not? If not, then you may not be doing the justice. You somehow get the short term part, but a long term benefit is something which is still a long way from you. New videos on the best practices on the complex form building. Okay, I let me note it down. I can take that complex form building. Okay, I've noted it down, and I will try to definitely work on that. Done. What are you doing the next round of the interview videos? Would love to. Definitely. I will be inviting more people, but in some time before that, I have some more plans. And very soon I will start that as well, but in a different fashion altogether. But again, if you're interested, keep sending me those things that you're interested, so that I can plan this thing in very near future. By the way, you have already approximate, I think, 20 videos related to interviews. If you have not watched, guys, do watch on the YT. Check the front end interviews, right? Season 2. That's one of the best interview questions. People are, I know people who open the random one of my video, they see a problem statement and they ask the problem statement in the interview. Many interviews has pinged me, Chirag. I generally take your YouTube series, basically pick any of the question from them, and that becomes a problem statement for me for the interview. I don't have to be prepared earlier in order to get into the any interview. So I was shocked, but again, if it is helping people, even the interviewer in an interview, why not? If you have not worked on the redux, how can you practice for the question where the people expect more complex state management? So I will tell you, if you have not worked on the any of the state management, try and get into the discussion, talk to the people who have worked upon that, ask a lot of questions, and you will get a pro into that, right? So what you have to do, you have to ask a lot of questions related to the redux with other people to, in order to understand why you are using redux, where you are using. Can you showcase me? Can you help me? Oh, I was doing with the normal state component level state management, you are using redux over there. What benefit I will get? How basically can you help me with the complex use cases? Try to open any, there are many, there are many live project where the redux is not disabled. The redux development tool metrics is not disabled. I can share you, I have seen, you can actually open the redux dev tool in the chrome of many production application where you can see all the events and everything happening. So which shouldn't be there in the production, but that's how it works. Basically people don't know these small thing. Go and check those website, perform activities, see how different actions are basically dispatch, what they are changing in the state basically using in redux, and try to implement a small project. So having a hands-on on a small and a wider understanding on the complex is more than enough most of the time, right? Because you won't be building a personal project like example Flipkart. There's no point of building your personal project with that complex state management alone, because you don't have the right set of problem statement. You will be doing something shitty without having a actual problem in hand. It's just to make life complex. Right? Just to showcase that I have some complex state management. Was it needed? You don't know. You never had a problem, and you are trying to solve a problem which was never a problem, right? That's a problem. What's the process of hosting a web application? I can create a small video on that. So web app hosting, there are multiple type of hosting: static hosting, dynamic hosting with database connectivity, database hosting, lot of other things that happen. I can create a video on that, no worries on that. Okay, I can finally, I think I got a ping related to the nx on the discord as well. Can you explain what is nx and when should we use it? Okay, so you have to think about, if you have if you wanted to build a, you can say especially I will tell you, there are two use cases. One, you are building a micro front end like application where you have multiple package, or you can say multiple generally we call it package, multiple package that are for different purposes. Now there are certain dependencies which are shared between these packages. It can be any of the libraries, it can be some versions. There may be use cases where one package has different react version, different package has different react version. Now if you have to think about managing all of those things manually, it's going to be a tough management, where dependency management, vulnerability management, all of those things are tough things to manage. nx helps you to basically provide all those management, the building of the your package, the caching of your packages, your build time things and everything. It handles out of box. So it's a build tool. It helps you to build your application, manage the dependency in very easy fashion when you have multiple package like micro front end kind of architecture in your application. If you don't have, I won't recommend you go for nx kind of a thing. You can go for many things, right? Es build is there, you have webpack is there, their parcel is there, right? There are many other things that happens. Those are very simpler solution. nx you go when you have those you can say micro front end, many packages, many team working on different many different owners of these packages, then only go. Don't complicate your life. I will tell you, in my current organization I have both the taste. I have one project which has uh, for every new use cases they have different repos. So I am working on approximate 20 plus repos, say, right, in one of the project. In one of the project it's a one repo, and it has more than you can consider more than 200 you can say rep packages. So it's a micro front end within basically a single repo, and this is micro front end with across 20 plus repos basically, right? So there are multiple variations to that. So Depends, right? As I said, depends. You will have get into different use cases. Sometimes people do a lot of over engineering and they get into complication they didn't thought, and they out of curiosity build something. Now management becomes a problem. Like you have only two developer and you have complicated your life. When you have a huge team, they are stepping on each other's shoes. When you are building things, then you divide the responsibility and segregate the packages, and you can say project where different team works on different thing, and hence the micro front end NX and everything start coming into the picture. If you're one developer, you're saying I will have 10 packages, dude, why you made your life hell, right? If you don't have plan of like having a big team in future, don't complicate your life. It is management hell, trust me guys, don't get into those things. Great. I think we covered almost all the question that I could see in the chat, guys. Uh, cool. Let me take one or two questions from here. But before that, I wanted to listen from the chat, guys. Was this live session helpful for you? Do you want me to have more frequent live session to take your questions and whatnot? If that's the case, let me know in the comment that it was helpful, and you basically got something answered or learned something, so that we can have these frequent calls basically on YT. Do let me know in the comment, share some love. Let me know if you are liking, if anything that I can improve, anything that can be changed. So that is definitely I wanted to hear from you guys. Okay, hey, can you add a small tutorial for SDUI? Okay, how to handle it from the backend and the front end? Okay, server driven UI. Okay, this was one of my project in Flipkart. So as the Flipkart UI, the front page that you see is server driven UI, SDUI. So I can create something on that. So definitely I can create server driven UI related to that, no doubt. Any tips to remember the topics after learning? I forget the topic after 2-3 months. The only thing is, uh, so there are two things. One, implement that thing in your current project. That is one. Second, discuss these with more people. If you have learned something, discuss things with people. If you discuss with the people, you won't forget that easily, because some questions will come, some concerns will come, you will get into deeper discussion and whatnot, and you will never forget. So you might remember when you were preparing, anyone who prepared for engineering and whatnot, there may be very lot of topics that you still remember. Why? Because that time we were discussing a lot. In design discussion, what we do, we discuss a lot. Anything that you discuss a lot, it will be hard to forget. Anything that you learn yourself, you will forget. 100% you will forget. Perfect. Let me see. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. Would love to have this kind of session. 100%. I have read your interview blog. It was helpful. Oh, Karthik, Janil, thanks for sharing your blog and whatnot. People are liking it. Hey, can you add a small tutorial for, as I already talked about Ashutosh, don't worry. I will definitely work on that. What are the things a fresher should keep in mind when you are about to start working as an SD intern? So SD intern, one important thing I wanted to say, guys, when you're an intern, your at first priority, your first goal, your thought process should be one, you should be ready to give more time, because you are here to learn, right? Have a hunger, curiosity, whatever you see, ask question, as much question you can ask. Like you are a new child, new baby, you have started talking first time, everything you see, you ask question. That is curiosity. Second, time, basically, as I said, be ready to give a lot of time. It should not be like, hey, I came to office at 10 and my 5 p.m. is done, my life is sorted, I will go and chill, party with my friend because my company give a lot of perk as an intern. Please avoid that. Your internship is a time to make a lot of efforts, to learn a lot of things. Third important thing, try to help people. Like try to say, hey, you are stuck something, can I help you on that? Hey, do you have some extra work, can I help you on that? Try to take try to help other people, right? Try to solve their problem in any format. It may be you may not be well versed in technology, any damn thing. Hey, like I'm doing some setup, I feel you are also struggling in that, can I help you on that, right? Try to approach a lot of people and try to help on those small things that you might have explored. Even a small thing, hey, there is some event which is going on, would you like to go along with me, right? Hey, there is some goodies which are distributed, do you want me to collect your goodies as well? It can be any small help. try to help people as much as possible. Three things, if you remember, as an as you can say intern, like give your time, have a lot of curiosity, ask a lot of question. When I say give your time, whatever it takes, you have to solve a problem, you reach out to any number of people, solve it. Third, try to get in touch with a lot of people, talk to a lot of people, help a lot of people in any form, right? In any possible form, you will see a next level thing. I go through a lot of the interesting topics, but face difficulty when it come to implementing that. And hence, Ashutosh, when you implement things alone, you don't have people to answer that. And hence, you need people where you are stuck. Someone will give you an idea and hint, and you, oh, this was a very simple thing. I was stuck for a couple of days or a week, probably, right? And hence, we say working in team is always helpful as compared to working in alone in silo. Go practice this, you will see a difference, right? Build these, hence communities are important, hence we work in team, hence we have stand-ups in basically in our organization, hence we have these tech sessions, hence we have these meets, sharing your knowledge in one form the other, conferences and whatnot, right? If everything can be done in silo, then obviously the word will be a different. How to apply for a big product based companies? I have applied through the LinkedIn, but I'm not called for the big product based companies. I will highly recommend go for referrals, reach out to engineering manager, hiring manager, reach out to talent acquisition specialist, reach out to your friends basically who can refer you in their companies, right? That's a good and the best way in today's era basically, if you wanted to go for a big companies. uh, one job post get thousands of profile, minimum thousands of profile these days, right? In big organization, and getting you shortlisted on a lot of different tools, ATS and what, it is tough, it is tough. Hence referrals are always important and helpful. Cool. Perfect. So, guys, thanks a lot for joining on Sunday late night, and we'll have more good session. I will be sharing a lot of interesting things basically, and you will get a lot of interesting updates from me in November. I have multiple things to share with you guys. I'm just waiting for the right time. Multiple updates you will keep hearing from me. The only thing I'm wanted to share, Jan and April, these are the two good time to change your companies and whatnot. If you're preparing, so be active from November itself, so that at least you prepare for 2 months and whatnot, if you're looking for a change and whatnot, because January again, a lot of hiring that happens after the Christmas and whatnot. In international market start putting money back into the hiring and whatnot in the new financial year, everything basically comes into the picture. And after March, then April again is a time to for a good market. So if you're preparing, so be ready, start investing your time, money and everything basically in order to get hired. Chalo. With that, thanks for all your love coming. Thanks for coming on Sunday once again, and keep watching the YT, keep sharing the stuff, right? Keep helping me, keep asking tough question. Like, let's be active, keep helping each other, guys. The only things which makes a human differentiator is we are sensitive, we help each other, right? That's our differentiator. And the people who help each other in grow, whatever the platform, whatever the thing is, in your company, outside your company, help each other to grow. If you're helping, you everyone becomes unstoppable, right? Everyone grow, you grow, me grow, everyone grow, right? And that's what my vision, my goal is. We help each other and we definitely will grow together. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye bye, see you. Keep sharing whatever I have learned. I keep sharing, you keep sharing, and keep supporting, guys. Thanks a lot. See you again. Bye bye.